Hello students, today we are going to discuss next important topic which has been prescribed into your syllabus by Punjab University Chandigarh. So the topic which we are going to discuss today is significance of positive attitude in communication. I repeat the topic, significance of positive attitude in communication. So let us begin with this topic. Positive attitude plays a great and significant role in man's life. Everyone wants to be happy in this world. We all want more success, more money, a better health, a happier home, more friends, and more fun. So, all the human beings want something more better in their life, like more success, more money, more better health, or better health, happier home, more friends, and more fun. But if we are unable to get all these things due to the lack of confidence, lack means dearth. If we are unable to get all these things due to the lack of confidence, shortage or dearth of confidence, we feel insecure because we cannot get more out of life. So, in order to achieve all these things, we have to be more confident. Man's brain is the most powerful radar of sending and receiving waves of thoughts. So, it depends. So, to be happy or to live a happy life, it depends on a man's brain. Man's brain is the most powerful radar of sending and receiving waves of thoughts. We can obtain happiness and success with power of mind. So if we think that we live happily, we want to live happily, then it depends on our mind. The power of mind can help us to attain more out of life. In order to develop positive attitude, we should throw all our doubts and vague fears. So if we want to be happy or we want to develop a positive attitude, we have to throw all our doubts, our fears from our minds. We should fill our mind with faith, security, and confidence. We should fill our mind with faith or confidence or security. Only then we can live a happy and healthy life. Positive attitude is the most important tool of communication. All the organizations teach and train and their executives and employees, both existing as well as newly recruited, to learn new techniques of performing various operations with greater economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. So, positive attitude, it is the most important tool of communication, of conveying our ideas or our opinions or messages to another person. All the organizations or companies teach and train their executives or their employees, both existing, which are already working into that organization or company, as well as newly recruited. Recruited means newly appointed, to learn new techniques of performing various operations with greater economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. So positive attitude is very important to even to do a job in any organization or company. While marketing their products, they also educate the public about the potential benefits of the product while marketing their products, while selling their products. They also educate the public about the potential benefits of the product. For this, the communication should be imperative and indispensable and positive. It is essential to promote any product, to persuade people to change their minds with great arguments. If a company wants to promote its product, then the employees of that company have to persuade people. They have to persuade means they have to convince the people to change their minds with great arguments. One thing more important is speaker's credibility, his or her ability to create a proper, mutually beneficial frame for a position, connect on the right emotional level with an audience, and communicate through vivid language full of confidence. So, in order to convince the people to take products, to buy products from them, the employees of any organization or company, they have to be positive minded. One thing more important is speaker's credibility, his or her ability to create a proper, mutually beneficial frame for a position. So by being positive minded, uh, the employee of any organization can convince the people to buy their products. So positive attitude plays a very significant, very important role in a man's life. Next, there is how to develop positive attitude. How to develop positive attitude. First of all, we should picture ourselves on the canvas of mind as a successful man overcoming the obstacles of life. If we want to be positive minded, or if we want to develop positive attitude in our personality, we have to picture ourselves, we have to imagine ourselves as a successful man overcoming the obstacles of life. Obstacles means hindrances, or we can also use the word difficulties here. If we want to achieve, if we want to be positive minded, or if we want to develop positive attitude in ourselves, we have to imagine ourselves as a successful man who is overcoming the difficulties of his or her life. Try to develop the unconquerable will and never to allow your confidence to be shaken. In order to develop positive attitude, a person has to develop his will, which is unconquerable, which cannot be won by anybody, and never to allow your confidence to be shaken. I can do it. I will do it. We should use such words to ourselves. We should use such sentences or phrases to ourselves that I can do it. I will do it. These are the positive phrases which can make ourselves positive minded. Remember it, firm determination towards goal can lead you to success. Firm determination. When you make your mind to achieve anything, then you can achieve your goal, or you can even achieve success in your life. Do not entertain your vague fears, minimize them with your positive thinking. If you have some fears into your mind, try to minimize them with your positive thinking. If you are suffering from feelings of frustration and distress, for example, lack of social grace, failure in love, ill health, unattractive physical appearance, physical inability, and lack of mental capability. Always try to develop positive thinking in order to conceal your negative emotions. If a person is suffering from feelings of distress, means unhappiness or frustration, for example, lack of social grace, failure in love, or sickness, unattractive physical appearance, physical inability, or lack of mental capability, then that person should always try to develop positive thinking in order to conceal. Conceal means to hide your negative emotions. So, in order to overcome all these feelings of frustration and distress, a person has to develop positive thinking. Only then he or she will be able to conceal or will be able to hide his or her negative emotions. Always try to practice the following affirmations, repeating it aloud. I can do all things through God who strengthen me. So, in order to be a positive minded person, in order to develop positive attitude, a person should repeat such affirmations like I can do all things through God who strengthen me. But for this, we need our inner faith. Faith lies in the inner power, and faith in the divine always strengthens it. So, in order to achieve or in order to develop positive attitude, we must speak or repeat such affirmations with inner faith. We are all fighting against the battle of negative forces for the control of our minds. The negative forces can be easily recognized and identified, but all the positive forces are the forces of God. Each person at every time is fighting within himself or herself. There is fight between the negative forces and the positive forces. They are in our inner soul. There are positive forces which are the forces of God. They are in our inner soul. The negative forces are the forces of evil, meanness, fearfulness, and sin. Negative forces are the forces of evil, meanness, fearfulness, and sin. If we want to be victorious, we should not lose our confidence and faith in positive forces. If a person want to be victorious or want to be uh, want to achieve victory, he or she should not lose his or her confidence and faith in positive forces. To conclude, positive attitude always contribute in better and effective communication. To make communication better, it is better to cultivate the positive attitude. There is no hard and fast rule for cultivating positive attitude, but there are some guidelines like being aware about the emotions and thoughts, feeling detached or detached here means feeling separated from the situation, accepting responsibility and living in present moment. So in order to be positive minded, we have to uh, be we have to cultivate the positive attitude in ourselves. Building up of confidence is yet another essential key in developing effective communicative skills, which will enable us to inherit positive attitude. Building up of confidence is an essential key to develop effective communicative skills. This can be achieved by ensuring that, along with learning all other relevant communication and interpersonal skills, a person also builds the required level of confidence in facing, addressing, and interacting with a group of people. The communication should not only start on a note of confidence but should also sustain it till the end. So, to communicate, we need confidence not on the beginning point, but we need it to sustain it till the end. Confidence building is done through conscious efforts by acquiring conceptual clarity, by knowing the audience profile in advance, by resorting to meaningful intrapersonal communication, and above all, through a positive, sincere approach. So, by doing all these things, we can achieve or we can develop positive attitude. Have faith in yourself and inherit positive attitude, and it translates into effective communication. So, for achieving or for developing positive attitude, you have to have faith in yourself or inherit positive attitude, and it translates into effective communication. In business and profession, as one goes up the ladder, one will have to necessarily read a whole lot of reports, memos, letters, analytical notes, sales, literature, magazines, and books, be they handwritten or in print. In business and profession, as one goes up the ladder, one will have to necessarily read a whole lot of reports, memos, letters, notes, analytical notes, sales, literature, magazine books. One must take a conscious choice of what to read and what not to. There is so much reading material that everybody comes across in personal and business life. The advent of electronic communication has made it further comparative for all of us to make a conscious choice. There is tremendous advantage, a great advantage to a person who has mastered the art of effective speed reading. Effective speed reading also contributes in acquiring positive thinking. So, effective speed reading is also essential to acquire positive attitude. Communication skills thus cover a vast area and can be developed through conscious effort. For some persons, communication skills are a God given gift and the flow is effortless. Others will have to work on them and acquire proficiency through practice and hard work. A good piece of communication, be it a speech or a presentation or a write up, stands out. It has the potential to create a deep impact or effect. So, communication is a very vast topic and it can be developed through conscious efforts. For some persons, it's a God given gift and they need, need not to do any effort to achieve this skill. But others, they have to work on it and acquire proficiency through practice and work, hard work. It is the recipient who communicates, the so called communicator, the person who units the communication does not communicate. He utters unless there is someone who hears. There is no communication, there is only noise. It is recipient who communicates. The so called communicator, the person who units the communication, does not communicate because he utters, he says, unless there is someone who hears. There is no communication, there is only noise. So, in order to convey one's message to another person, The existence of another person who sends feedback regarding that message is very important. Otherwise, what the first person who wants to convey his message, whatever he utters is only a type of noise. So the existence of both the conveyor or the receiver of the message is very important for the communication. So students, we have covered this topic which is very important for you: significance of positive attitude in communication. Tomorrow we will continue with our next lecture. Thank you very much.